Welcome to the Real Academy, brought to you each Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time by the
Systems Doctors,
Dr. Sheka Houston and Dr. Tammy Taylor, best-selling authors, consultants, and speakers of Create and Educate LLC. Create and Educate LLC is an educational consultant and literary firm that provides professional development to schools and community. Their goal is to transform organizations with the REALL Resilience Framework used to increase their school report card grades 2 and 3 grade levels in 1 year. REAL stands for Respect, Excellence, Accountability, Literacy, and Leadership. This framework is used to coach leaders and teachers and build student efficacy while putting systems in place that aligns the work of the school improvement, making the process manageable. When the work is manageable, teachers and leaders don't stress out or burn out.
the Systems Doctors
Alignment systems are designed to help schools evolve and grow, all while instituting protocols and processes designed to promote collaboration and collegiality. The implementation of the alignment framework prevents some of the most common problems in education, where leaders sometimes aren't sure where to start, or in our new age of educating, leaders need a trusted sounding board that allows them to be vulnerable and transparent, preventing loneliness at the top. The framework doesn't just help leaders, but also prevents teachers from burning out from too many initiatives and embracing teachers as they are the experts. Finally, the framework extends to the children, helping them get engaged in school and solving a nationwide problem. Alignment systems are frequently referred to as a key element of success in the improvement process. In the sport of rowing, all rowers must put their oars in the water, succinctly creating a system for their boat to reach maximum speed. So schools that want to improve are bringing in
the Systems Doctors
to teach them all about the alignment systems that must be in place for school improvement to be accomplished at high levels. The dynamic duo provides insights into educational topics through their international platform, which includes educators, parents, and community members as a way to support important entities that make communities thrive. This is their way to pay it forward and provide the support they needed through their platform. Take a look. People who work with the
Systems Doctors
describe them as an excellent and inspiring group of leaders. They get into the weeds of work with leaders through their TrustMate Institute that you should contact them about today by filling out the contact form on their website.
Happy Super Saturday, everyone. Welcome to the Real Academy, brought to you by Create and Educate with your very own Systems DoctHers, HERS. I am Dr. Sheka Houston.
Good morning, and I am Dr. Tammy Taylor. You can see I'm having issues with my video this morning, but I am right here.
Yes.
We are very glad that you all are joining us this morning.
We are, and we can hear you loud and clear. We can't see you, but we can hear you. Did you want me to put this other screen back up?
No, I think it'll come back on. It's going in and out.
It's going in and out. Okay. So thank you all for joining us. We just heard Principal Hurt, who was on fire. He's always on fire, giving everybody shout outs and compliments. So shout out to Sarah Howard, all the work that she's doing and all the great work that Principal Hurt is doing with so many great people. And let me see who we have with us. I'm going to put the comments up in a minute. I'm going to just read them off so it'll go a little bit faster. We just want to say good morning to all of our Real Academy family, and we are very appreciative of you all joining us. You could be doing anything on this Saturday, but you were intentional about showing up and being here with us, and we appreciate you. So, good morning to Kenna Rowland, Queen Jasmine Harris out west, September Devon Vance Daniels, good morning. Chancellor Rashard Davis out of Las Vegas, good morning, sir. Stacy L. Joy, good morning, sister. We appreciate you. She's out west as well. Dr. Rella Hicks is joining us on YouTube. Good morning. Principal Sean Hurt, our brother, good morning. Principal Dot McKeever Jeter, we appreciate you. Good morning. And Principal Josh Tovar, part of our Fantastic Four network, is joining us. And he asked, did I need him and his sons to help us unload the car this morning? Not today, Josh, but we appreciate you. Mr. David Bell, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Lynette Wilson from North Carolina, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Sinitra D. Williams, good morning. Thank you for joining us. And let's see, from Tunisia. I don't want to mispronounce your name, but good morning. I see Ben, and I'm not going to butcher that. Good morning, but I see you. Uh, Sarah Deborah Howard, good morning to you, and congratulations again, sis. Verlander Jones, good morning to you. We appreciate you. And thank you all for being here with us. Continue to share the feed and ask people to join. We definitely want to be able to share the great information that we have for you today. So, we're going to start off with thanking everyone who made the Build My Sister event last week a phenomenal event. Thank you again to all of our sponsors, Juneteenth Chester, Principal Sean Hurt, WGCD, who did a number of interviews on site for us, the University of South Carolina, and here in our community, King's Funeral Home was a sponsor for us as well. And I see you, Principal Kafele. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. And Minnie Portis, thank you for joining us from Mississippi. And let me get in here to the PowerPoint. If you follow me on my page, we have been asking for prayers. This is Dr. Alfred Williams. He is our brother in education. He and his family were on their way to Friday night football and were hit by a 14-year-old driving at 108 miles per hour. So he and his family are just be in prayer for them. They are undergoing several surgeries and different things. So please be in prayer for him, his wife, his son, and his daughter, who were all in the car at that time. Just continue to be in prayer for them. And yesterday at Coach Fest, we presented on Everyone Needs a Coach. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We received a lot of great feedback from everyone. Tammy, could you do the comments?
Yes, ma'am. When I get back on, I can.
Oh, okay. We received a lot of great feedback and interaction from everyone who was in the room with us. So we just wanted to share from that topic with you today for episode 163. Everyone needs a coach. And if this is your first time joining us in the Real Academy and you're not familiar with who we call ourselves the Systems DoctHers because we were able to put systems in place at my middle school and Tammy's elementary school, along with our phenomenal staff members, because everyone knows that you cannot do anything as a leader by yourself. But we were able to raise our reading achievement from the 17th percentile to the 90th at my middle school. And at Tammy's elementary school, they went from the 7th to the 97th percentile, up 3 report card grades at her elementary school and up 2 report card grades in 1 year at mine. That work allowed us to be featured best-selling authors of Women Who Lead. We are part of this great Fantastic Four network with Principal Sean Hurt, who starts us off every Saturday on Super Saturdays, which Principal Kafele has deemed it Super Saturdays. Every Saturday at 10, we follow Principal Hurt, Create and Educate at 10:30, and right after us at 10:55 is the AP and New Principals Academy Principal Kafele. And on Sundays, Principal Josh Tovar and Principal Dr. Morena in the PGP podcast. So we continue the work through our live stream and all of the work that we're doing with schools throughout the state and in other places. So we wanted to start off showing you this 2-minute video because this surgeon really, his philosophy about coaching sums up our philosophy in 2 minutes. So we wanted to share this with you real quickly.
How do professionals get better at what they do? How do they get great? And there are two views about this. One is the traditional view. That is that you go to school, you study, you practice, you learn, you graduate, and then you go out into the world and you make your way on your own. That's how doctors learn. That's how lawyers do, scientists. Now, the contrasting view comes out of sports. And they say, you are never done. Everybody needs a coach. The greatest in the world needs a coach. So I tried to think about this as a surgeon. Pay someone to come into my operating room, observe me, and critique me. It seems absurd. Expertise means not needing to be coached. So then which view is right? Turns out there are numerous problems in making it on your own. You don't recognize the issues that are standing in your way, or if you do, you don't necessarily know how to fix them. And the result is that somewhere along the way, you stop improving. And I thought about that, and I realized that was exactly what had happened to me as a surgeon. So I asked a former professor of mine who had retired, his name is Bob Osteen, and he agreed to come to my operating room and observe me. The case, I remember that first case, it went beautifully. I didn't think there would be anything much he'd have to say when we were done. Instead, he had a whole page of dense with notes. Just small things, he said. Did you notice that the light had swung out of the wound during the case? Another thing I noticed, he said, your elbow goes up in the air every once in a while. That means you're not in full control. It was a whole nother level of awareness. He was describing what great coaches do. And what they do is they are your external eyes and ears, providing a more accurate picture of your reality. They're recognizing the fundamentals. They're breaking your actions down and then helping you build them back up again. After 2 months of coaching, I felt myself getting better again. And after a year, I saw my complications drop down even further. It was painful. I didn't like being observed. And at times I didn't want to have to work on things. I also felt there were periods where I would get worse before I got better. But it made me realize that the coaches were onto something profoundly important. I think it's not just how good you are now, I think it's how good you're gonna be that really matters.
So really, this his definition of coaching, we've adopted that because it's just so spot on. An external set of eyes and ears that provide a more accurate picture of your reality. A coach recognizes the fundamentals, they break your actions down, and help you rebuild. So, one of the things that I really liked from the video that he talked about, that I think is the problem with some of us in education. He asked the question, how do professionals get better at what we do? And there's two different views. That traditional view, where we feel like we go to school, we study, we graduate from college, and then we go figure it out. But then the other contrasting view is the one that's taken from sports, where you are never, you've never arrived. You're always, trying to get better, or you're never done. And I think when he talked about that, from the mentality of being the expert, expertise means that you don't need to be coached. I think that's where a lot of times we are in education, and the reason that we think we are actually on a process of improving, continuous improvement, is because we continuously go to professional development, and we say things like we're lifelong learners and we're always going to conferences. But if you look at the research about what people actually institute from professional development and conferences, that does not match with changing our behavior. So when we look at the coaching in the sense of what he talked about from the contrasting view of how athletes look at it, I do think that we have some room to grow in several places in education.
I think the most important thing to think about when we're thinking about coaching in um, relation to schools and to us as leaders, you have to find the coach who you trust enough to share your inhibitions with and to be vulnerable with and to be willing to learn from. Because when you're in a position of leadership, I think, and that's why the statistics are so low about who is willing to receive coaching. And there's such a small percentage of people, because the vast majority don't feel like they need or want to sign off on having a coach. But people feel intimidated by the fact that someone may think that I don't have all the answers when we don't. We really don't have all the answers. One of the most important things I think that came out of the work that we did last weekend, y'all, it was a phenomenal event. We had a really amazing group of women, and it was just, the synergy was so electrifying. And I think that's because people, when they trust that there's going to be something that helps them to be better, and they feel like the people who are providing this is going to help them be better, they really take hold of that, because people do want to be the best they can be. And I can say that during the time that I was doing my research, that's one of the things that I feel like Dr. Hudson Weems did for me. I was
Hmm.
able to work alongside her, and she was able to give me critical feedback and critique what I was doing, just like in the video. Like, oh no, you got to rework this whole chapter. This sounds very weak. And she would say things like that. You're a stronger writer than this. And I'm thinking, dang.
Yeah, if you are not humbled by the dissertation process, nothing will humble you, I promise you.
Yeah, you better do this again, honey. But I said that to say coaching yields something for us if we're receptive,
Hmm.
that makes us better as people, and better for who we are able and capable of being. So I think that the video is a very powerful one too, Principal Hurt.
Yeah, I agree. And the fact that he's a surgeon, because you know, who doesn't think that they've arrived more than somebody who's a medical doctor? And yet, when the person came in to observe him, still had a full page of dense notes of things that could have been done differently, or things he needed to bring his attention to. So I think that's what definitely makes it profound. And I like what Dr. Rella Hicks stated, that the favorite quote that is used to govern myself is that the largest room in the world is the room for improvement. I seek continual improvement. So I love that, and I agree with that. I seek to continuously improve,
Absolutely.
be better than I was yesterday. That is always the goal.
And I think that's something that we can adopt for our schools. Like, I know that we talk a lot, especially us, we talk a lot about the school improvement process as it relates to being in school improvement. But in the grand scheme of things, continuous improvement is a way of life. It's not just about an identification. It's
Mhm.
about, because like we're not in any level of school improvement anymore, but we strive to continuously improve. That's our philosophy for the year. We will continue our continuous improvement journey, and that journey, I think, is an ongoing one to continue to always be better. That is well said, Rella.
Most definitely. And so today we want to talk to you from that standpoint of us continuously improving at our schools. And we know that when in during the school improvement process, one of the things that I knew that I needed to do, and excuse me because I'm getting over my illness and my throat is still scratchy, so excuse me. One of the things that I knew I needed to do when you're talking about all hands on deck, all boots on the ground, there are not more boots at your school than the boots that the children wear. So I knew I needed to get my students on board with what was happening. So getting together those students who I identified as having those leadership qualities. And these are not always the students who are your straight A's. These are my students that have that big presence, that big personality to where they walk in the room, people are looking at them to see what we're going to do next. These are the children that I was talking about that I got together to let them know, hey guys, this is what we're up against. This is what we need to do, and I need your help. So when students are in class and everybody thinks that it's time to clown or do certain things, I need you to be the one to say, hey, y'all, let's not do that today. Let's do something different. I did give them some sentence frames to where they wouldn't lose their cool points with their friends, but I let them know I need your help. And I think that was a big part of showing our children, we've got to show our children how to coach one another and give them the autonomy and letting them know we see you as a leader to be able to do that. So that was a big part of my process that really helped.
Yeah, and for us, I mean, the whole boots on the ground, you're right. Like there are no more boots in the school than the feet of the children.
Mhm.
So making the children an active part of the improvement process is very, very important. And I think that comes through really teaching them how to set goals and how to respond to what's going on so that they start to experience that success, and that success is contagious. Is that thing that is going to breed more success. Yeah, we got this. And I think that's what starts to happen when we see and we begin to see things differently.
Most definitely. And we've got a few minutes before we end. It's 10:52. Teachers need to know how to coach the students. So we have to coach our teachers on moving away from being that, sage on the stage to that facilitator. So if you're teaching your teachers how to coach students, they're able to more effectively do that versus just being a person that is there to lecture or, um, provide instruction. We want to facilitate it, and that looks differently than just lecture.
Right.
And one of the big points that we gave on yesterday, and that was confirmed by the keynote at the conference as well, is that your instructional coach, who is there to coach your teachers, should be introduced by the principal to the staff, letting the staff know what the roles and responsibilities are of that coach. And a lot of times we don't have a really good onboarding process for our instructional coaches, and they are left to try to figure out how to best approach teachers or how to get the teachers to buy in when really that voice that needs to get everybody bought in to what the instructional coach is doing should come from leadership to start with.
Exactly. And I think that is important for us to note that that voice is the voice that sets the tone for how the entire experience is going to go. Because if you take it for granted and you don't act as if this is a relevant part of the culture and climate of what's happening in the school, they're going to feel exactly the same way.
Most definitely. And lastly, the principal is there to coach everybody. And of course, the assistant principal coaches the teachers and the students. So I did not want us to end today without us making sure that we also recognize the life. And I'll let you talk about Shay. Tammy, this is one of Tammy's close family members who is only 35 years old or was 35 years old who is being funeralized today.
Yes. So please pray for our family. Um, on last Wednesday, Shay turned 35 years old, and on Thursday, she departed her earthly life to be with Jesus. And so we're in a state of still trying to adjust to all that's going on. So today at 2 o'clock, we will funeralize her, and I ask that you please pray for the family, pray for her parents and siblings, all of us, aunts, uncles, cousins, everybody. It's a very close family, and um, this was a very shocking situation. So please just know that we honor her life this morning. She was very young, but very, very fierce as a young woman that I am and forever will be super proud of. And again, just continue to think about her family. She was going to graduate from college in the spring, and so we have a lot to be thankful for Shay's life, and we honor her this morning.
Most definitely. So prayers to the entire family and to you as well, Tammy. I know
Thank
that
you.
grief is very heavy. So
Yeah.
please join us next on Principal Kafele's page, and we hope that you all enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and we appreciate you being here with us. We don't take it lightly.
Yes, thank